Howdy folks, Matthias here, and welcome back to Vampyr. When last we left off, we had a difficult fight at the morgue, and we switched controllers, but we switched to a controller to do that fight. I'm back on mouse and keyboard, because that's what I'm most comfortable with, and I think that if I just get more used to the combat on mouse and keyboard, I think I can make it work. But it's still kind of weird. It's definitely much more simpler on the controller, but this is what I like playing on. So what I did between episodes is that I read the stuff that we had, and I'm really glad that I did, because it gives us a lot of information. So the Guard of Prewin is somewhat of a, vampire hunter order, and they talk about how, in this one specifically, they talk about why they must evolve and deploy, 20th century weaponry to the fight. They talk about ultraviolet light, flamethrowers, white phosphorus, and talks about how thinking that, well, if they're vulnerable to daylight, then we can just take them while they're sleeping, and how that's a terrible idea. And that they're much more vulnerable when they're out at night, because in their dens, they're at their most protected, because they trap their places well, and so they've lost a lot of people trying to take out vampires while they're sleeping, and it hasn't worked out well for them. So now they're saying that they're most vulnerable when they're out at night because they have to feed, and so that's when they're the easiest to get to. And then there's these interesting ones that talk about, because I've been talking about trying to understand what the rules of this world is in terms of vampire rules, right? And one of them talks about garlic and how garlic is useless, and it makes a reference to the Bram Stoker novel, which is fun. But it talks about how the main things are fresh things. So fresh herbs, plants, and woods. So it's talking about, you think about, the wooden stake and, why it's effective. There's never been a thing that's, at least in the things that I've read, which I'm not the biggest vampire person, but I'm watched a lot of Dracula stuff, and I've done, look through, Vampire the Masquerade stuff, and, just tons and tons of stuff. Count on, I have more things that I've, watched and read on than I can count with, both my hands and feet. So I feel like I know, vampires pretty well, and, the reason that you just take it with a grain of salt on why a wooden stake works, right? And this is giving a reason for why it works, and I appreciate that, and I find that very interesting, that they're thinking about these things of okay, garlic doesn't work. Garlic was just a cultural thing that Bram Stoker used and misunderstood in their interpretation, and in this, and obviously the fact that vampires are a known thing because the Bram Stoker novels are very popular, so an unknown thing, but also a thing that people think are just, fairy tale type thing. And these are the people who are in the know. So vampires are in the culture in more ways than one, which is cool. And it makes more sense, right? Because if there's something that was real, but it's also mythological, you'd have those, the stories of it, right? Alright, so, yeah, that was really cool. And then this one was just fucked up. Also, they talk about different types of, vampire names. So we've encountered Skull, and I'm pretty sure that's, all we've encountered is Skull. And I don't even know if Skull is really a type of vampire or not. Because they seem to just, they seem more zombie-like. They're feeding on flesh and things like that, than vampires who drink blood. as their, source of sustenance. But they talk about Vulps and Ekans. And in the other one, they talk about leeches. And I think one more thing. Notice this vampire. Okay, yeah. So yeah. It talks about how the fire and the sun works. So they talked about he chained a vampire to a tree. And the sun rises and it burns and turns into like a desiccated corpse. But when the sun went down, it started to regenerate. So it can't kill, but it does hurt a lot. Which I found very interesting. So he cut off its head, and they did the same test with fire. And so fire, it doesn't come back from fire. If you burn a vampire to ash, then it can't come back. So now we know like what works and what doesn't for the most part in terms of us. And I felt that was really, really good to know. Now, what should we do next? So, kind of want to explore like the surrounding area around the hospital, because I know there was like little like makeshift areas. I'm pretty sure I've seen these before. Let's just take this stuff. And it had anything in it. There's still all these metal supplies because we're going to be using them anyway. Right. Also got to get back in the groove of playing this game because I haven't been. It had been a little bit since we've played it. Due to the influenza, the hospital can no longer take any patients. Hospital full. Please go back home. Wow. That's pretty dire, right? When your hospital's at full capacity and you're like, yeah, can't do anything for you.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding?
Okay, are we in that? We're in that area.
Investigate.
Okay, we are in that area. All right, so probably have to do the whole V thing. So this is somebody we don't know. This is someone we haven't talked to, but he looks doctorly. He has a whole white lab coat and he's smoking. So yeah, typical doctor, right?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Okay, so we can trade with this guy. Interesting. Have we met before? Because you talked about, like, you know me, and you thought I was supposed to be dead?
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
A funny story, sir. Your sister came here
a few
nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Oh boy. Alright, so do you work here alone?
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
I watch the bodies.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Alright. I love also how, like, depending on what you want your Jonathan Reid to be like, these questions have, like, double meanings. So we could be asking, like, the why are you alone question. Could be, like, a thing of, ooh, then you're, like, potential, like, easy target type thing. Or you could just be, curious and, wanting to know these things.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Okay. So you're not afraid of the dead? Seems weird to ask, but we'll ask it.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
Poof. Most people fear dead flesh. How'd you get the job?
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Okay, I'm guessing that's something else. We can do a little quick medical checkup.
Do you need medical attention?
I'm feeling all right, Doctor. But perhaps it is because I, too, am used to the smell of the dead.
Alright, so you're not afraid of the dead.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded
Have
by
we
so
seen
many
that?
corpses?
Why should I?
Alright, so most people feel dead
An
flesh.
interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Okay, so that it was something. Alright, so not there. Alright, we got some personal stuff. You believe in life after death, which is something specifically we talked about, so I guess we can bring it up.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death?
I don't know, we have to ask it that way.
No, I believe we must do all the good we can while alive, for our time is short and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Goodwill won't last.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
Yeah.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reid, I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
I like this guy. Alright, so you're a pawnbroker.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes to trade?
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Alright, so what do you sell?
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Alright, let's have a look here. What do you got?
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Ooh, we brought... Okay, we have 73 coins. Is ingredients. I don't know which ingredients we need. Opium. Uh-oh. Interesting. I'm gonna go over to here and kind of look at what we need. We have a lot of that. We could use like everything really, but everything's pretty expensive. We would be able to buy everything, even of one side. Is this locked? Yeah, I figured it would be. So are things just locked for...
It's locked. These sad and faded walls are all I have to offer as a final.
Is this locked for good reason?
This is a poor hospital.
Alright, so we're back in the hospital. Just gonna get in the frame of reference of where I'm at. What things are. There's a bunch of dead bodies, which we can look at. A letter. And some shillings. Hey, that'll be helpful for us. And we got some more of that thing. Alright. What was the letter? Junk, nope. I have a lot of these. Okay, things to read too. I think we've... Yeah, see, these I definitely didn't look back to because I thought they'd all be in that other area. Alright, let's look at this. Alright, I finally found the missing money for the fee I asked by the ambulance driver to bring you to the hospital. Don't worry about nothing except getting better. Take care of everything. Ask some of our neighbors. Mr. Hooks is something of an honest crook. You may ask for extra money in exchange for a bed, but the bed is guaranteed. Sorry I didn't pay first. I realize the important thing is that you get better soon. Hospital's a good place, despite the bad behavior. It's Milton Hooks. I promise you everything will be okay. See you as soon as possible. Okay. Alright. Alright, so we know stuff about Milton Hooks. We know Pippa Hawkins is part of it. Because she sells, she has people...
I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
Okay, so he's looking at cool things. Yeah, so he needs you, volunteers. Yeah, just make your way over. Alright, cool. Alright, let's go into the, Alright, what's happening? I'm not touching anything right now. Now he stops. Alright. Oh no. What is happening? Again, not touching anything. As I rotate, he just wants to, like, keep running. This is so weird. What's going on, game? What is happening? Can I, like, make him stop? Okay, maybe that helped out. I don't know what the heck was that. That was some kind of weird glitch. Definitely don't want to replicate it. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. Just to find out who's... Here we go. I was like, how can we zoom in? Dagnabbit. Get out of here. Alright, well how the heck do you... Okay, we just have to do it that way. God, it's so weird to navigate. Alright, so that's a merchant. Okay, so we gotta be in this area to find out who is spying on her. So... Okay. Let's just have a look around in this area. Alright. Remote fire bad. Yeah, King of Country needs you. You have a look in here? Have a look inside. Anything going on in here? Something. Hello. Hello, proven agents. Can I help you, folks?
Don't come closer. Over there! Don't stay alive. Oh, Christ!
Alright, get back. Alright, give me stamina. Dagnabbit. Alright, well. Works for me. Shillings and bullets. Handle parts, small bottle. Alright, what are you guys looking for? You guys figured out something? Alright, vampire activity. Hospital survey investigate. 3 days ago, one of our new recruits heard a rumor about a presence of a female vampire hiding in the Pembroke Hospital. All we have is her first name, Thelma. Your mission is to discreetly go there and observe any suspicious activity concerning said leech. Then report directly back to us, and we will decide what action should be taken. Well, that's a problem. Now, what just happened? Game just crashed. Great. Vampyr. If that's gonna be a thing, let's let all this stuff play out. If this is gonna be a thing, and it happens with this game, because that kind of sucks. I really don't want like things like this to crap the game, and hopefully this loads quickly because it did not load very quickly when we first started. Oh, thank goodness. All right, where are we at? All right, we just got dropped in. All right, I was in the menu, and I did this. Okay, so no Thomas Outwood. So I think we're gonna get the last bit of this. Good lord. Did we find out everything? Okay, we found out it was spying on her, but we haven't determined what they've discovered. Alright, let's get over to the side of this thing again. They're gonna be like, what's this weird guy doing running towards us? I don't know how they could have not heard us coming. Oh, hello. Watching some shillings. Alright, these guys aren't here anymore. Oh boy, this is bad. This is bad. Uh-oh. Is this like a game-breaking bug now? This is not good. This would be like horrible. Alright, I'm gonna continue on like this isn't broken. If it does end up being broken, yeah, this is gonna suck. Alright, so where is the pharmacy? Huh. This is tracked, right? Tracked. Reach the pharmacy. Details. Where to obtain needed supplies? Wow, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I really hope. I mean, if a side mission is bugged, that's not the end of the world. When main quest stuff gets messed with, that things can be broken. Alright, so let's have a look around the rest of the area here. There's somebody we don't know over there. Oh, we got some opium. Alright.
Good evening, sir.
Talk to all these guys.
True. The famous Dr. Reid has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Oh,
Dr.
we've been...
Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Okay, I thought that might have been a slight, but no, it was a genuine compliment. Alright, so we've been, Dr. Reid's been across the pond. Very nice. Alright. Let's talk about life in London. Tell me about the staff.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
We've met some.
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
That's a nice guy. Positive characters.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the
Brannigan.
most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
Uh-oh.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn
Oh.
fine practitioner.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that. Alright, and then, got a little crush on, Brannigan, do we, Mr. Tippett? Alright, what about management?
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
Alright, what's going on?
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
We didn't have much of a choice. Nah. Well, I mean, yes. That's true. It could be the same everywhere. Where people are more important. Yeah, we'll go people are more important.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reid. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Alrighty. We already went through these. Don't have any hints required to talk about other stuff with him at all. Let's see.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
Yeah, that didn't prod anything.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
A lot of hints associated with him, so we'll have to look around for stuff. Alright, who we got? Oh, is this the guy that we did not eat? Yeah, this is Clay Cox. Hey, Clay. How are you, buddy? You talking about that guy that you murdered?
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reid, still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
Alright, so is this a good or a bad thing that you are still living among us? Let's see.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
We don't have the medicine, so just back away.
I will see you later.
Alright, so we need medicine for fatigue, which we don't have yet. We gotta make more of it. We had some earlier, but we gave it to the other guy. So I'm feeling that I've got to be careful about doing things in its proper order. Otherwise, the game will freak out. Like it did when we didn't get the cutscene with the nurse telling us about what to do next and going to see Dr. Swansea. I had to go look that up later to get just to see that like 5 seconds of, hey, now it's time for you to go. Dr. Swansea wanted to talk to you about something. That thing. And hopefully not getting any more crazy crashes and weird bugs. Because it's really, really enjoying this game, and I don't want things to pull me out of it and ruin the experience like that. And it's not like it's a brand new game, so these things should be fixed, you know? Alright. Yeah, that's what the man we pushed in the water.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
Did he want? What was that?
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother.
Uh-oh.
Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favor.
You may be right. Survival at all costs. What does that say? Does that give us something? Clay had murdered the brother of the man who tried to kill him. Survival at all costs, huh?
Only the strongest survive, then. Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reid. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
Alright, well, you almost died there.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
Alright, so how's your hospitalization going?
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated alright, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the staff?
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
Oh, this guy's just all around awful.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reid. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
Alright, any other things to talk about? Yeah, we do. Alright, how long can you avoid the law?
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can just tell them, you're gonna die. Justice will find you, or we all must pay the price. I think we all must pay the price.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I can say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
Alright, well. Way to go there. Intends to remain a gang leader after his recovery. Uh-huh. So yeah, he's, Peaky Blinders through and through, huh? Alright.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
When I get back, I'll have a word with Tom. He's really pissed me off this time.
Alright, anybody else we need to talk to? Just want to kind of give a quick little more run through of all these different places.
Is this supposed to be an hospital?
Oh god, it's gonna just keep complaining all the time. Alright, that's... Alright, so this is the... Yeah, hospital's full. Get a quick little rundown. Alright, Gwyneth Brannigan. We know her. I don't think we've talked to her. Of course, Beatrice. There's someone over here. Who are you? Can we talk to you? Apparently not. Don't know why you're highlighted then. Very interesting. Okay, well, I'm gonna go see whether or not
At least that mistress of the dark.
the side
Stop
quest is
following
bugged,
me.
and if I can do anything about it. And then next time, we will see what the next thing is to do.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan
I don't
Reid.
think we've talked to this
I'm
guy
new
before.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reid. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reid. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reid. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Oh, hello. So we can trade with this guy. Alright. Alright, so we know things about Milton Hooks.
Goodbye, Milton.
From talking and reading stuff. So yeah, we definitely need to talk to these two people. We'll do that next time. So, until next time, this has been Sathios signing out for now. Bye, folks.